Have we lost the plot? I know that's a silly question. Some of you may think that I've lost the plot, and you're probably right in some way. But have we lost the plot? And what I mean by that is there seems to be an attack on our culture, our traditions and our customs. And I'm particularly interested in England, but I think this is across the world. There seems to be a strange force, if you like, bubbling under the surface, making us almost forget everything that we thought of as normal and dear to us, the things that we like, the family unit being perhaps the most important thing. The fact that we're being challenged on, well, on sex, for example, what sex is, the genders of male and female. That seems to be a huge thing at the moment that I see from observing other YouTube channels and commentators and opinion makers and the newspapers and even the media, that there is this strange thing going on in which we're not only trying to convince ourselves that everything that we have known for years and years is all suddenly wrong, but that we're teaching this to children who have yet even to understand what the world around them is, and then we're teaching them these fallacies, in my opinion, complete lies and fabrications about the different types of, well, science, real science, true science, the basics of life, biology, if you like. Not only that, though, we're all falling into this strange ability to accept nonsense. I mean, I just think it is nonsense. We're accepting the idea that suddenly meat, the having cows on the planet because they eat grass and they produce milk, they produce beef, and there have been in the past fantastic farm animals in one way or another as helping out in the farm in the old days, and now we use them for dairy and for meat production. And probably the carcasses are, well, in the old days they would have been used for all sorts of different processes, and I dare say some of that process still goes on. But we're being told that this is no, they're wrong. That we shouldn't have cows because they produce methane, and it's bad for the climate, apparently. And people are actually believing this. That a small number of people who seem to have power, I'm not sure who gave them the power, are telling other people, no, you can't have this. So that we're now being told that instead of meat, instead of eating animals, we've got to eat bugs, insects. But aren't they animals? Don't they have feelings too? Or are some animals okay to eat and others not okay to eat? And why should that be? I mean, we're being told to become vegetarian more or vegan. But I don't think vegans eat insects as part of their daily diet. They may eat pulses and other things. But so I don't see why we're being shoved into areas that for the greater good. But I don't believe it is for any greater good. See, I have this rather unusual stance, it seems, that I haven't actually swallowed the one-sided argument that the climate is as grim as everybody makes out. That the recent flooding or fires or certain hot days in the year are any more unusual in the great history of things than ever before. I don't think there is this thing, and I don't think that we need to go completely mad and change everything. But it isn't just that. It's the culture. Our religion has been watered down. Now, it may well be because I'm English, and religion in my country was always a Christian religion, and I appreciate that people have perhaps in some way given up on that religion because they've seen other things to take their interest in. Their religion has shifted. Perhaps it's become things like climate change, or commercialism, or following famous people on Instagram or things like that. Their religion has shifted. And I would say, well, that's down to the church. If they want to get people interested and into their church, they need to do a bit more, maybe come up to date. I don't know. I've never been a religious person. I don't carry a faith card with me. However, that doesn't mean to say that I'm happy to see it completely go. I would like the church to do something about it. If they really genuinely think that a God exists and he cares for the society, you would think that they would do a hell of a lot more to encourage people to go to church and be interested in it. Perhaps not hark back 1,000 years or so, 2,000 years to events, but try and make things a little bit more up to date. I don't know, it's not my area of expertise and I'm only voicing an opinion. But it does seem to me that we are in a time of turbulence. We're being told stuff and we're being told that we've got to accept it. And these other religions, like the climate nonsense, is being used for every example that we can possibly have. And we're bowing down to it. And I don't know why that is, why we're listening, why we're not challenging, why we're not thinking about it, why we're not using common sense, why we're just going along with it for an easy life. Things like I talked about in my earlier video today about the coal mine being opened up for the steel industry and that they were going to be extracting coke so that they could make more steel. And I think that's a good thing. I think that we should be looking towards the fuel that we can have to be more self-sufficient and independent, as I said in my previous one. But of course there's huge lobbies that are trying to stop us from doing that and trying to push us into a green agenda, which if we could move into that without any problems, without any issue of running out of energy, then that would be great. But we can't do that. The wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine, and we should have been building nuclear some time ago. And we've, for whatever reason, we got a bit scared, confusing one type of nuclear energy with another type of nuclear energy. And of course, technology has moved on. But to build all this stuff, it doesn't happen overnight. We've been very short-sighted. We've allowed these people to determine what we should do and guide us how to live our lives, and we've just let them. We've let them steamroller over us. And I say no, not anymore. I don't want to be steamrolled and told how I should address somebody and tell me how the vocabulary of my language should be. I know the difference between a man and a woman. I know that eating meat is okay. We've been farming it. We've been here for so many centuries. We've been farming animals and eating crops, and we've been healthy and we've survived, and we're here today. And the planet didn't collapse and fall in on itself. In fact, the climate changed anyway. It was going to do its own thing. It wasn't in any way concerned with what we were doing, and it still won't be. We need to somehow grow a pair, grab ourselves, be more determined, be prouder of what we have, know that what we have had in the past is fine and okay, and stop this crazy wobble in which we're going, oh no, but we're weak, we're all victims, we can't cope, and we're listening to doom goblins who are telling us that what we should do. We must resist this. It is just total madness. And I think we have lost the plot. So let's throw all of this nonsense away and get back to living how we once were and progress forward at a sensible rate. It's my opinion, and you may disagree with me, and you can argue till the cows come home. But please let those cows come home.